What a tremendous weekend of boxing we got as boxing fans, as casual fans, as just an average Netflix viewer. Folks, shout out to Netflix, shout out to Jake Paul, shout out to Mike Tyson, shout out to everyone who was involved in this mega magnitude of event. We had Mario Barrios against Abel Ramos, tremendous jam-packed action fight. Then we had Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano. Folks, another jam-packed action fight. And then in the main event, we had Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, the problem child. And oh boy, is that man a problem. So folks, sit back, relax, buckle up, pay close attention. Jam-packed video coming ahead. But first, let me take a moment and say thank you to all the heavy hitters out there who tune in on the regular. And if you happen to be stopping by for the first time, stop by for the second time or third time, and haven't hit that subscribe button, I cordially invite you, consider joining the family, hitting the subscribe button, and I'll keep the YouTube videos coming. So, what a tremendous event. Again, shout out to Jake Paul, shout out to Netflix, shout out to Mike Tyson, shout out to everyone who was involved. Let's begin with Mario Barrios and Abel Ramos. I won't spend too much time on it. I'll quickly recap what happened, then we'll move on to Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, and then we'll get to the main event, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. So, in the Barrios fight against Abel Ramos, folks, both of the fighters went down. Mario hit the canvas, Abel hit the canvas. It was an action-packed fight, back and forth action. From my point of view, I think that Mario might have underestimated Abel Ramos a tidbit, because Abel Ramos was not the challenger. He was not next in line to fight for the belt. So he simply came in as an action-packed opponent for Mario. Folks, I did not even knew that they were going to be in the card into the last press conference. I was pretty surprised to see Mario Barrios against Abel Ramos. And myself, following boxing, I knew it was going to be an action-packed fight. But nevertheless, from my point of view, I believe that Barrios may have underestimated Abel Ramos. So, back and forth action, both of them hit the canvas. The fight went to the scorecards. In the scorecards, it was a draw. One judge gave the fight to Barrios, another judge gave the fight to Ramos, and the last judge had it a draw. So the fight was a draw, and are we going to see the rematch? That's the question that everyone is asking, because it was an action-packed fight. But look, Mario retained his title, and I believe that he's going to move on to greener pastures. Folks, Abel, again, he was not next in line. He was not rated the second one to fight the champion. So he came in as, let's say, a last-minute opponent. Anyhow, moving on to Amanda Serrano's and Katie Taylor. Now, this was even a better fight. Every time these two step in the ring is guaranteed action. It was a bloody fight. There were headbutts. There was back and forth action. Serrano had a big cut over her right eye. Katie Taylor looked like she had ran out of gas, but she was still throwing punches in bunches. From my point of view, I saw Amanda Serrano winning. And the funny thing is that I also saw her winning the first fight. But this is the second time that Katie Taylor gets the W. So Katie Taylor came out on top the first fight, and she came out on top the second fight. Many folks out there are screaming out loud, robbery, robbery, robbery. And folks, I have to agree. I saw Amanda Serrano throwing more punches, being more active, bringing the fight to Katie Taylor. From Katie Taylor, I saw her more reacting to what Amanda Serrano was doing inside the square circle. But folks, if you didn't see the fight, at least catch the highlights, because this was an action-packed fight where Amanda Serrano suffered this big, massive cut over her right eye, and she kept on going. It was funny listening to the corner and listening to the ref, because once the fight came via a headbutt. So when Amanda Serrano got the cut, she went over, the ref kind of like paused the action. She went to go get the cut check by her corner, by the doctor. And the funny thing is that they asked Serrano if she can keep going. The ref asked Serrano if she can keep going. It was a massive cut, and Amanda Serrano said yes. But in other occasions, in other fights I've seen, they don't ask the fighter if they can keep going. A fighter is always going to say yes. So the doctor is the one who makes the decision. But anyhow, the fight kept on going. It went to the scorecards, and Katie Taylor came out on top. Now, shifting gears to the main event, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Folks, this was an exciting fight for the first 2 rounds. After those first 2 rounds, we saw a 50-year-old man against a 27-year-old man. Mike Tyson, way past his prime. His last fight, his last professional fight, was around 2003, 2005, and he was already washed. And on the other corner, we had Jake Paul, who took on boxing about 4 years ago, who has been in there throwing punches in bunches, who has been training diligently. We saw Jake Paul, and that's pretty much what set up the frame to tell the story. Jake Paul had stamina, had a cardio. Mike Tyson, after the third round, ran out of gas, and the whole crowd went silent. I was at a bar watching the fight. Everyone was silent. It was sad to see Mike Tyson go out like this. But look, on the positive side, Mike Tyson's brand has a lot of equity. He has been able to cash flow from his name. He has been able to make money. And this past weekend, he made in the millions. I believe he made 20, 30, or 40 million. So shout out to Mike Tyson. Shout out to Jake Paul. Shout out to Netflix. Tremendous boxing event. Folks, I'm going to leave it at that. If boxing is what you like to follow on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and I'll keep the videos coming. Peace.